So what we're going to go over in this portion of the video is we've got Carol here, and Carol's been on Noka here about 6 times, and so it's just getting her more and more comfortable with him. The past few times she's ridden, she usually comes out once a week to work with them, so the past few times you've ridden them, we've really just been allowing him to go where he wants to, mostly. And for her, it's just getting the rhythm of the walk and the trot going. And because you first have to get the forward first before you can ask the direction. And you've got pretty good about getting the direction. So what we're going to do today is just follow the rail, and can she have direction and keep the forward rhythm going the whole time. And not only following the rail, but then we're going to start doing some circles. So I've got her with the crop too. The crop is there to keep the forward, because you're going to ask him to go through your life up in your body, but as soon as he kind of dies out, like if you're walking along and he wants to die out, you're just going to come in with a little crop. Don't get tight in your body. Don't get firmer with the body. Get stronger. And when I mean stronger, it's just getting a little bit effective with the crop to say keep going. Okay. Because otherwise, if you just get bigger and you squeeze harder and you maybe bump with your legs, they tend to start ignoring that more and more, and they will fade that out, and then you have to get bigger and bigger. So the crop is there to keep them paying attention to your body, your life. When you say let's go, it means let's go. Okay? So just head out on the rail. We'll cut across in front of the camera there, and we'll just follow the rail around and just get a nice walk going. And you have to judge how much you need to use the crop. So if you feel like you're having to still kind of squeeze and push with your seat, then add a little rhythm with your stick. Don't get firmer with your seat, because if you start pushing with your seat, you actually get in their way. So soften the seat, allow the movement to come through your body. Another way to think of it is how much the horse's back is moving, that's how much your seat moves, not more, not less. If you're too stiff, you're not moving enough with the horse. If you're pushing and saying let's go, you're doing too much. So it's that balance between allowing and then being with the horse. So there, that's nice. There's a few times when you kind of push and you get tight with your seat, but this is good. And he doesn't, that's a plenty enough walk right now. So we get the deer running by too. So this is nice. And now you've got a nice walk rhythm, and then you're saying stay on the rail. How straight of a line can you make as you're going along without speeding up, without slowing down? So let's say you're going at a 4 mile an hour, a 5 mile an hour walk. Can it really stay a 5 mile an hour walk, not drop down to 3 and then speed up to 7 and kind of back and forth? You're looking for that rhythm. See, in there he's going. So Carol, I think your expectation is a little more than what you need as far as the speed.
Oh, okay.
So think of it as a 4 mile an hour walk and not a 6 mile an hour walk. You're thinking as it a 6, and that's why he's kind of thinking, oh, I almost have to trot.
Oh.
At some point, yes, you can ask for more.
Okay.
So that's a little bit dawdling there, so you ask for just a tiny bit right there. You feel that? That's the rhythm I want you to think about keeping. So we have to have it clear in our own mind what that is. Right there. Yeah. Right there. That's good. Allow him to kind of get in rhythm with that walk. Yeah, you're getting in rhythm. So you're not going to let him slow down. If he slows down just a tiny bit of a saying, let's go, if he doesn't pay attention to that, the crop shows up. Don't start pushing with your seat. Nope, not yet. So we're still walking, but don't push. See there, you're pushing a little bit with your seat. Allow the movement to come through your body. Don't push the movement. This is a huge piece. Is we tend to want to get into this pushing motion with our seat, and usually that shuts them off, slows them down, because you're getting in the way of their feet. You're putting pressure on their feet unintentionally at the wrong time there. So if you just flow with it, that's nice. All right, so in that corner, just do a circle and go back the other direction. Now what you can start adding in to help keep the horse straight on the rail is use your weight shift. So when he comes off the rail, just shift your weight back to the rail slightly. And it's not about collapsing at the waistline as it is about shifting your weight over almost like you're going to step off, like you're going to dismount, but it's only the first part of the dismount. See there, he's kind of pushing into your, coming in to his left there, pushing to the inside a little bit, and then you can add a little bit of leg. So you're first going to keep them straight, you're first going to shift your weight, then you're going to come on with the leg that's needed to move him back in or out, depending on which way he's going. He tends to want to come in, so you're going to use a little bit of your inside leg after you've shifted your weight to say, no, let's stay out. Then you can help out with the reins. And if you had to, you could tap him on the shoulder with the whip, but he's not needing that. See, this is pretty good here. He's really actually staying on the rail better than he was the other direction. And we'll see if he's better coming across here this time. What also helps is to have a very clear picture in your own mind of what it is you're looking for, or where you want him to go. So if you're going to be directing him 100%, you have to have a clear picture of where that direction goes, where you want to go, where you want to be. So this is nice. You're keeping a nice rhythmic walk going. You're not pushing with your seat. You're just allowing that movement. You can think about it too as, let's say you went out on a long trail ride and you're coming back home. The horses tend to have a nice walk coming back home. You know, or the naughty horses have a nice trot or canter back home. But you're looking for that nice walk, and you're like cruising along, relaxed on your horse. Can you have that feeling right now as you're going? And this is good. So the whole idea here right now is you're looking for a nice forward rhythm, and he's maintaining the direction you're looking for. All right, so that's looking good. Next corner, do a small circle, go back the other direction, and pick up a trot. And so we'll do the same thing. Yep, pick up your trot. And some of the young horses that are not sensitive, that are kind of real laid back, I will put a crop in both hands. So I'm not having to switch back and forth, and that way I can talk to whatever body part I need to. So you're first looking for the forward rhythm. If he's challenged with that, you're not going to care too much about where he goes. But he's doing well, so you get the rhythm going, you're getting the trot going, and then you're saying stay on the rail. Okay, now you're a little bit tight in your tummy. Think of softening, there you go. You grow a little taller like you did there, will really help. Because if you're gripping too much in your stomach, it collapses you, draws you inward. And think of opening the front of your body, grow taller. Yes, looks good, looks really good. Did he feel like he freed his feet up as soon as you did that? Yeah. Yeah. Because when you kind of grip with your tummy, you tend to grip with your knees and you go inward, and that gripping with the knees shuts the horse's back off. It makes it harder for the horse's back to move. So think of opening and allowing your legs to stay soft and open on the horse and move with the movement of the horse. So this is good.
Great.
All right, up here, do a circle and go back the other way. Yeah, nice. Now kind of check in, your body's a little tight and you're standing up. Another, we talked about this earlier, and we'll do a video on this at some point about going through all the body parts, going from your toes to your jaw, and relaxing them and getting them soft. So you can just kind of think about that, because you're a little stiffer this way for whatever reason. And just start with your toes, relaxing your toes, then soften your ankle, then soften your calf, your knee, be aware of your knee, kind of soften it. From your knee to your hip, get soft. From your hips, make sure you're just going with the movement. Now watch your whip there, that kind of was your whip. It gave you a nice scooch. And then if your hips are soft, moving with the horse, then check in with your lower back, then your middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck, and jaw. So you just kind of run through those body parts and go, okay, am I stiff there? Am I mobile? Am I pliable? Good. Okay, grow a little bit taller and open, yeah. So yep. For a little bit there, you kind of were still perching a little. So it comes and goes, and that's normal. It always does when you're working on this. You're developing his rhythm. The more you're relaxed and soft on the horse, the easier it is for him to keep the rhythm. And the easier it is that he gets, the better his rhythm gets, the easier it is for you to ride it. So it works both ways. Yeah. The other key here for you to get relaxed and him to get relaxed is time. Is if you can get to where you can trot for 10 to 15 minutes, really gets you both in rhythm and relaxed and flowing together. Okay, so now you're kind of perching, you're a little bit forward, there you go. You know, and your legs are a little bit forward here. I'm not going to pick at that right now because you got enough other things to think about. But as you soften and you get with him better, you'll think about drawing your knees and your ankles back some. So soften and sit, and if you need to, you can post too. That might help you, because you don't have to sit the whole time. I like it. Good. All right, so soften back to a walk. We'll give them a little break here. So just soften because you're, and breathe out, pick up your reins and bend him if he doesn't pay attention. Now that you got him going, he's like, sure, I'll keep going. Good.
Oh, you can go for a trot.
Yeah, he's got a good trot there, so that's good. All right, so just come on over and come to a halt. We'll give him a little bit of a break, and then we'll do some circles. So Carol, do you have any questions so far?
Yeah, I have a question. When I was going down the side and turning to go straight without the wall, I really didn't know how to get him to turn and go straight. I knew to lift up his head, or so I thought, but I didn't want to drive him like a truck driver with the wheel and go like that. And then I thought, well, I need to put some pressure on the side, but I thought that would make him canter, so I didn't want to do that. So, I mean, thought that I was focused on that green pin over there, but I just need some tips so that we can be. It seemed like once we turned and went that way, it all fell apart.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, you know, the question is really how to help the horse bend through the turn. And this is really common with the green horses when you're first getting them to start, because he wants to just keep going down the rail and, you know, or go someplace else. So how do you help them? And really what you want to do is think about, can you just get them to tip their nose slightly? Right as you're going to make that turn, and maybe even before the turn, is think about already going, okay, I'm going to start setting up the turn. Now, when you do that, they tend to want to just fall in. So there's where you can shift your weight out slightly and have a little bit of inside leg to help with that. Now, we're not going to get too worried about this at this stage. Actually, what we're going to go into here next is going to help with this. But you really want to think about, can you just get a little bend in the horse's neck first and then ask them to follow their nose. We don't want them following their shoulder, because they tend to, you just pick up the rein here and the shoulder drops and they kind of fall that way. Look for tipping their head and neck slightly that way and getting them to follow their nose. And you can do that by picking the rein up slightly, flexing, shift your weight out a little bit to keep the shoulder from falling in, and then if you need to, come on with a little inside leg. Okay? So go on out there, and this is what we're going to go into next, is now in the corner you're going to ride a circle. So just follow the rail. When you get to the corner there, you know, there's a make-believe line, fence line going across the arena, so you're going to do your corner in, or do your circle in that corner there.
Walk or trot?
We'll start at the walk. So you're going to pick up, tip his nose, there you go. and get him to follow his nose around. If they want to fall in, you shift your weight out slightly. Good.
Do I let you go if he's kept his head in a little bit?
Yeah, so the idea here now is that you're going to, that was good. You're going to do the circle, you're going to stay on that circle until the horse feels good, until he does well. So if you go around and the circle's some other shape, and he's not bending or he's drifting here and there, you just stay on that circle. And if it takes you 10, 15, 20 times there, no big deal. You just keep going. You're looking for that rhythm and the forward, the forward rhythm, and then that they stay on the line of travel that you're going on. So we just finished with going around the rail. Now we're adding a little more complexity to it. Can he actually, instead of just doing a quarter of a circle, which that's a corner, when you go in a corner, it's just 3 steps of a circle. And now you're going to do a full circle, or as many as it takes until he feels pretty good. So grow a little taller. There you go. Yeah. Visualize the circle. So if there was a white line down there on the ground, would his nose be on that circle? Would his front feet be going over it? Would his belly button be over it? And would his hind feet be going over it? You want all of those body parts going over that circle while he maintains the gait you're on. He's a little sticky in the neck. Yeah. Your circle's a tad small, as I would ride it a bit bigger. The smaller you make it, the more they have to bend. The bigger you make it, the easier it is for them. And every time they give you something, you're like, aw, thanks. Okay? So like there, aw, thank you, Carol.
Okay.
You don't have to let them go, but so you're trying to muscle it. You're turning it into, get over there, get over there. And the more you start muscling it, the more frustrated you get, the more frustrated he gets. So see the circle. How can you help him to stay on that circle? Yeah. So you're a lot softer, and he's like, sure, I can do that. And you're just identifying where the issue is. If they come off the circle, it's not a big deal. Okay. That's the beauty of the circle, is you can just keep going and going and going.
Okay.
Keep going up, and we missed it there, or he fell in there, or he fell out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so you know, and they'll set up patterns. Every time you come around, he wants to drift in by the gate.
Yeah.
So you might look to the gate visually and ride more over there.
Oh, okay.
And say, hey, let's go ride to the gate. Yeah, look at that.
Ah, got it.
There you go. So was that his issue or your issue? Yeah, so leave that circle. That was a nice circle.
Okay.
And then you can leave the circle when they do well, and their reward is they get to go off straight, and then you say, well, let's try it in the next circle. I mean, the next corner. So you know the visual helped you. Okay, come to a halt for a second, and let me just show too how you can visualize with the circle. Pick 4 points to your circle.
Okay.
The corner's a really good place because you already have 2 points. And here I would pick like this post,
Okay.
and then I would come around to this post. Or it could be, you know, if it's a bigger circle, I might go 1 more post out.
Okay.
Then I can look out here and say, oh, there's straight across is my next point. Straight across from that post is my next point. So there's my 4 points to my circle.
Oh.
So I've got 1 point here at this post here.
Okay.
Second point is here. Straight across. I would have a point there. I have to visualize it. Or you could get cones. You could put some cones or markers out here.
Okay.
Actually is a good thing. And then I have another point here.
Okay.
So when you're riding, when I come to this point here, as I get there, I look right to the next point. Now as I get to this one here, I go, there's my next point. So you're always looking off to where you want your horse to go.
Okay. I was totally seeing it wrong. I thought I had to look at a point in the center, and that's what I was doing.
Well, that is another way to do it.
Okay.
So there's several ways, and different people do better with one way or the other. The other way is you can find a center point and stay the same distance from it. So we'll try this way here.
Oh, I definitely. I think so.
Is
I like this a lot better.
yeah, it'll give you a little more
I want
visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need visual.
So there you can just tickle a little with your crop to say keep the walk going.
Yeah, this is better, Jack.
Yeah. See, now you're looking to the next point, and then you look on to the next point.
Yeah, I would want too much of
Yeah, and the center point too, when you're looking at the center point, is we tend to then keep drawing the horse in.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons to both of them.
No, this is fine. I like this one. Here's the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that,
I'm
and that's for you viewers is something really to watch out for. Is a lot of times we start blaming the horse because the horse isn't following the line or on the circle. Is make sure you're getting a clear circle in your head or a clear place that you want the horse to go. So if visualizing a circle is really hard for you, put out some cones to mark a circle, because you can put those 4 points out. Just stepping off from a center point, going off so many steps each direction will create you that circle. See, that's nice there, Carol. And so you're just going to ride that at a walk till you can go along, and he's consistently picking it up pretty quickly. This is an exercise that I use a lot as a warm-up for the green horses, because you're developing that rhythm. You're now starting to develop some suppleness in their body because they need to start bending. All right, so as you come to the next corner, just do a circle and go back and pick up your trot, and we'll go the other way at a trot here. Yep, so life up. And if you need to ride the rail for a bit, you can, or if you want to just go right into the circle, it's all up to you. Or actually, I should say it's up to what the horse needs. That was nice. Good. Get your visual, keep the rhythm going. If the rhythm keeps breaking a lot, or you're losing the trot a lot, you may have to go back to just riding the rail. Just getting the forward down better. But he's doing good here. Nice. Make sure you're soft in your body, you're not getting too tight. Good. And now at the trot, I would make the circle. You're doing a good size circle, but from the walk, typically you're going to make a bigger circle. That was a little too small. So see a point center halfway, or like on the center line. So look all the way out to the center line here and ride there. That's how big a circle you're going to make, which would be a 10-meter circle, which is still on the smaller side. You could even go a bit bigger.
I'll use that poop as a circle.
Okay. Nice. See, that's a nice big circle you're doing there.
That was me. I didn't know.
Yep.
With my leg.
And so think of riding all the way up to your corner. Yep. Actually, do another circle in this corner here.
Okay.
So I want you to really visualize where the boundaries are, where the corner is. In this direction, he's a little more locked up in the shoulder, his neck's straighter, so that makes it harder, but there you go. And that's why he needs a little bigger circle. He needs a little more space. And that's something for you viewers to remember, is if it's challenging, go bigger. Make it a big, even if you had to use the whole width of this arena as a circle. That's fine to start off with. Yay, that's looking good.
Oh, this is good, Jack.
Yeah, that's really good. So actually, come to a walk now, and we'll finish with that with him, because it's really nice changes. We did the walk the other way, and we're doing the trot this way. You want to get to where you're doing the trot, walk, trot both directions, but just for sake of time, we just did walk one way and a trot the other. But that was a really nice change there at the end.
Oh, it was.
He got real soft.
I started feeling more relaxed. And I don't know, I was feeling more relaxed because he was doing better, or I was relaxed and then he did better.
Yeah. So come
I'll
on.
take it.
Come on over, and the recap is keeping forward rhythm as you go out and start following a direction, because he already knew how to keep it where he can, when he goes where he wants to, but now can you say stay on a rail and keep the forward. And then we started asking for circles, making it a little bit more complicated to where he can say, oh, I can go on a straight line and I can do some circles here. And you saw how when you got on the circle it got a little more difficult.
Yes.
So you're looking to just keep that rhythm going there, and then following the direction. If you make the circles too small, it'll interrupt the rhythm. Mm-hmm. It makes it a challenge for him. So go nice and big. And this will progress into, you'll start doing figure eights, changes of direction, where they'll have to change the bend. So we're getting them to supple as they go along, because they're bending on the circle and then they go straight ahead. Bend on the circle and going straight ahead. So it's about keeping that rhythm going and then having them follow the line of travel that you're on. So do you have any questions with any of that?
Well, you answered the big one there. And I thought small circles was important, but we get to those later. It was a lot easier doing bigger circles, and then I got more confident. And then I also was more relaxed, and then he could do the circles better. So I understand. We're just take baby steps, and then.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I think it's just keep them forward. That's the first thing I got to do before I start doing anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And stay relaxed and breathe. It's all me. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, and this isn't something you just drill, or we're not looking for perfection here.
Oh, okay.
You know, this is the first time you've done this with him. So you're just looking at, when you come out here, kind of judge the horse. Where's the horse at, you know, the first, well, let's say 10 circles. And judge it on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being perfect, 1 being terrible. So if the horse, you know, is giving you a 3 on those first 10 circles, and you get out there and you start improving and starts jumping to a 4, maybe to a 5, that's a huge change. You can go, oh, thank you. So when you get some good stuff, it gets better, leave it alone. Don't try to just keep going and going and going. Don't try to get a 10 when you started at a 3.
Okay. One thing that he likes to go in, okay, doing these circles over and over, and me putting my weight out, will that correct that, or we have to work on some other stuff later?
It will help it. It could correct it, but it will help it. Actually, in a couple other videos that I've done, I'm talking about the bends. Being able to bend and flex will be really good for them. So when you head down the rail, you can just start tipping your horse's nose into the rail, which causes them to bend, but they can't fall. They can't drop the shoulder. So those are some other exercises, but this is the place to start.
Okay. And this is also the circles for me not leaning in to cause him fall.
Yes, yep.
So
Which
this
is
a good exercise for the human also.
really good point, is not to fall in on that circle. When you turn this way, don't drop in there. Say, keep your shoulder up and out.
Okay. Okay.
So, well, thank you, Carol.
Well, I enjoyed it. Thank you, Jack.
And thanks everybody for watching.